live on and their ancestral spirits with gratitude and respect. First, I do have a couple of quick housekeeping points. If everyone could please keep their mobile phones turned to silent mode, and please note that recording devices and cameras must not be used during this meeting. And we do ask that you stay on mute, and I'll take you through questions in a minute. Before I get started, in the room with myself tonight, I'm Melissa Acton, the President of Tennis New South Wales. I've got Darren Simpson, our CEO, and I've got Brett Pedersen with us to all help us with our Facility Enhancement Fund questions tonight. There will be an opportunity for members to ask questions throughout the meeting, and at specific stages of the forum, we will ask for questions, but please feel free to type them in the chat box as we go, as they come to mind, and we will answer them when appropriate. As I said, if all questions can be done in the chat box, just because of the number of people online tonight, if we're doing them verbally, it couldn't affect the quality of the meeting.
Go.
I would like to briefly take you through the agenda for tonight's meeting. Whilst I will ensure that all members have a reasonable opportunity to ask questions, I would be grateful if everyone could please be respectful of everyone else's time. The first item of business, I'll present you an update on the recently announced Facility Enhancement Fund. Then I'll update you on the United Cup, Perpetual New South Wales Open and the Tennis New South Wales Awards. Next, Darren Simpson, our CEO, will advise on some recent not-for-profit administration updates on the Australian Sports Foundation, an update on the National Tennis Digital Transformation Project, and the upcoming strategic plan consultation. I'll then close out by doing a quick update on the board elections for this year before opening up for any other questions. The Tennis New South Wales board and management feel it's vital to provide information to members so that you're across what we are currently doing and to provide opportunities for questions. In the past, this type of information has only been provided at our AGM, and we do feel it's important to provide more opportunities to share what we're doing with the members and to allow questions to be asked. I'll take you through the Facility Enhancement Fund. So the Board of Tennis New South Wales are really excited that we've been able to announce the launch of our Facility Enhancement Fund. This project has been a goal of Tennis New South Wales for a number of years. And the reason we've been able to launch it is we've been able to reduce the amount of money coming out of the Grassroots Reserve Fund into our operational budget, which means with a restructurable portfolio, we do have the money available to release for this type of funds. We have also received support from Tennis Australia. The objective of the fund is to increase the number of people playing tennis, improving the quality of participation, allowing for more types of tennis activities to be delivered, enhancing venue sustainability, and addressing any barriers to participation in our sport. This program is for members of Tennis New South Wales, and the applications need to come from either the landowner or the lead organisation who has a responsibility for managing the venue where the project is occurring. The total pool of the fund will be $500,000 in 2024 and is aimed at small to medium-sized facility upgrades for projects between 10K and 250K. The fund can contribute a maximum of 25% of the project total value, up to a maximum of $50,000. There will be two different streams of funding available. Stream one is where the co-contribution amount is fully secured, whereas stream two is for projects where the co-contribution is not fully secured and is by invite only. If you do have any questions specifically around stream two, we do ask you to speak to your local TDO or a member of the Tennis New South Wales staff. The fund will open for applications on the 12th of August 2024 at 9 a.m. and close on Monday the 9th of September at 5 p.m. Assessments will then occur during September with the notification of results from early October 2024. The funding agreements will need to be executed within 2 weeks of the funding offer, and the project can commence after the execution of the funding agreement. The project should be completed and report finalised within 18 months of the funding agreement being signed. As I stated, the board are really excited to see this program come to life and want to thank everyone who is putting their time and energy to get us where we are. This program will continue in the following years, but the amount available in the fund will be determined during the budget process each year. Brett Pedersen is with us to help answer any questions you may have. So please go ahead and type any questions regarding the Facility Enhancement Fund in the chat box. But we ask these to be general questions in nature. If you have specific project-related questions for your own facility, we ask you to reach out to a member of the Tennis New South Wales team, or you can email us at nswfes@tennis.com.au, or go to the website, which has all the resources there, re the fund. So if anyone has any questions, we're happy to take them now on the Facility Enhancement Fund. And Brett has just put the link in the chat as well. I'll just give it a minute. If no questions come through, we can move on. But as I said at the start, feel free to put questions in at any time.
Pick up any at the end if that's
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah, so we've just had a question, can the co-contribution come from other grants obtained, or must it come from the club fund? No, it can come from other grants. So if you get funding through local council, state government, federal government, it can come from elsewhere. It doesn't have to be all be funds from the club.
Absolutely.
And the 25% has come from, that's what we used with the ATP Cup Legacy Fund. What if projects need funds? Yeah, so basically the minimum project value would be 10,000, which means the amount from the fund would be 2.5. So 2.5 would be our minimum contribution, but the project would have to have a minimum 10,000 value. If you've got a project that's less than that, reach out to the team, but we don't think there'd be many under that threshold. Fair. And there's no silly question. I will pass this one to Brett.
Absolutely. Any part of the facility related to delivering tennis and tennis objectives. And there's a fairly comprehensive list of types of projects that will be supported. And of course, refer to the objectives of the fund. If you can relate your facility upgrade to delivering against those objectives, then it's likely to be eligible. But if you have any more specific question, please reach out to us and we will look at your specific project proposal.
And we have just had a question about where the funding is coming from. As I said, it is coming from the facility, the Grassroots Facility Fund, which was started in 2015. That's the money we did get from the sale of White City back in the early 2000s, and it sits in an investment fund. So we're using the returns from that fund, which sits separate to our operational accounts. But it will all be reported on.
Lighting upgrades are absolutely 100% eligible for this project, for this fund.
Yeah, so the fund's actually up to 20 million at the moment. And basically each year it makes a return. So it's almost coming out of the return. We've done all the figures on it, and the actual balance of the fund over 3 years won't keep increasing even with this investment. Okay, so moving on to but as I said, any other questions we can pick up as we keep going. So the United Cup for 2025 is returning to Sydney Olympic Park, which we're very excited about. The event gives us a platform to launch the year and see top quality tennis in New South Wales. Planning is already well underway for what the event will look and feel like, and we're happy to confirm that the event will run from Saturday the 28th of December to Sunday the 5th of January. Tennis season is moving further forward as we go at the moment. Whilst the final venue hasn't been officially announced, there is a high likelihood of it being in Sydney, as it has been previously. Last year, we saw final tickets pre-sale before general ticket pre-sale went, and the same thing will happen this year. So final ticket pre-sale will start on the 4th of September, with the official draw occurring on the 21st of October, and we'd expect general tickets to go on sales in the days following that. We are also happy to confirm that after bringing back the President's Reserve function in 2024, it will be back again in 2025. We are currently working through what this will look like and what dates it will run, but please watch for further details on this, as well as any other events that we are running during this week, because we do put a fair bit into that week. So the President's Reserve, the invites go out to our members to come and spend a day at the tennis with us. Next update is on our New South Wales Open. So we have been thrilled that we've been able to see the return of the New South Wales Open over the past 2 years to Olympic Park. We are announcing tonight that we have been able to secure Perpetual as the naming rights sponsor of this event, and the event will take place between the 29th of October and 5th of November at Sydney Olympic Park. There will once again be a members' day at the event, and again, more details will come out very shortly. This event is one of the oldest running events in the world, and we look forward to seeing this legacy continue. I just have had a question on United Cup, so I'll answer that one now. Is United Cup fully funded and underwritten by TA? Yes, it is. So Tennis New South Wales staff are involved in it, but all costs are covered by Tennis Australia. Any questions on those two items before we have the next one? No? So the Tennis New South Wales Awards. So once again, it will be a full sit-down function which will take place at La Montage at Lilyfield on Thursday the 17th of October. The feedback we received last year was very positive, and that this was set up was preferred to the cocktail function we'd done the previous year. Nominations for all awards will open on the 1st of August, with tickets following shortly after on the 5th of August. The award nominations will close on the 25th of August, with finalists being announced on the 19th of September. We look forward to seeing all the nominations come in, and really recommend you all to look at the award categories available. And if you have someone local within your tennis community, making sure you put a nomination in. The night is all about celebrating success at the local level, and we look forward to seeing people recognised on the night for all their hard work and dedication they have put into tennis in New South Wales. I will now pass along to Darren to take us through the next few agenda items.
Thanks, Mel. Good evening, everybody. Probably just the one other thing that's worth mentioning around the awards is the number of our awards which feed up into the national awards, the Newcomb Medal Awards, the Australian Tennis Awards, which are presented in December. So, and that's clearly articulated on the forms, the information forms, which will come out very soon when the nominations open. So keep your eye on our website. I wanted to take you through a recent development with regard to not-for-profit self-review returns. So this is something that has just come in with this financial year that has just ended, the year ended 30th of June 2024. The government have made a change which requires certain not-for-profits to lodge an annual self-review return. There are some people who don't necessarily have to lodge a return, so those without an active ABN are not required to lodge. But if you do have an active ABN and you fail to lodge, it may result in you being ineligible for the income tax exemption, which sporting bodies generally enjoy as being a not-for-profit. The form must be lodged via the ATO online portal. There are some requirements there in needing a MyGov ID and a relationship authorisation manager. For those who aren't sure what a relationship authorisation manager is, that's just an individual which is authorised to respond on behalf of a business. This is explained in more detail in an email which we will send to all clubs tomorrow. So you will get further information specific to this particular item. You have up until the 31st of October to lodge these forms. And there's some information there at the top there, which sort of information that you'll require, but this will be further spelt out in the information which comes tomorrow. And we also, recommend that if you need to seek independent advice, that you do so on that. But this is not our doing. This is the Australian government change. So we wanted to make sure that everyone is absolutely well and truly aware of this well before the deadline of the 31st of October. Yeah. There is a hand. If that can go into the chat, that would be helpful.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, thank you, Trudy. There you go. You can also lodge your self-review by phone. We'll make sure we get that information into the email, which is going out tomorrow as well. So thank you very much, Trudy. Okay, so sorry, folks, I'm just going to move my slide, and my mouse is being a little bit temperamental. Okay, the next one I just wanted to mention is regarding the Australian Sports Foundation. And this is something that's reasonably new and is still a work in progress, but one that will be an opportunity for some consultation a little bit further down the track. At the moment, sporting entities cannot be recognised as a charity. So, and the downside to that means that if someone wants to donate to a sporting club, it's not tax deductible. As a result, you don't get many donations to sporting clubs. For those people, in the world of philanthropy who are looking to donate and then claim a tax deduction. The Australian Sports Foundation is something that a lot of you may be aware of, and it is currently the only vehicle which you can use as a sporting entity to access tax deductibility. So you must become a member of the Australian Sports Foundation, you set up a project, people can donate to that project, and when they do, that donation is tax deductible. That's currently the only mechanism which exists. The Sports Foundation is looking at an amendment for the Charities Act to get charitable status for amateur sports and athletes. Now, this is a pretty big change, obviously a change to the Charities Act. It's a federal act, and this would, if it was to go through, it would mean that all sports clubs would have to register as a charity with the Australian Charities and Not-for-Profit Commission. Now, and that wouldn't be negotiable, whether you wanted to be able to accept donations as akin to a charity or not, you would still need to register through the ACNC. So it's actually quite a fundamental shift in the way sports clubs, sports entities are regulated. This hasn't happened yet, and it is still up for debate and consideration. So the ASF are going to be running a consultation process with the sports sector. They have started that process only at like SSO level and above at the moment. So we have attended one session, but there will be more of a grassroots engagement and consultation process, and we will keep you informed of that so that people can have an opportunity to participate in the consultation as it progresses. So it's really just an FYI at the moment. Some of you will have an involvement with the Australian Sports Foundation, many won't, but if this change happens, there is an opportunity to unlock a large amount of money which goes into charitable organisations, which currently is not going into sporting clubs. Next is a quick update on the National Digital Transformation Project, which is a project that Tennis Australia are embarking on to significantly improve the digital world that tennis lives in. There's a number of goals that are being pursued as part of this. I will go to the next slide because we've got a little bit more detail. So this project is not just for the sort of the customer facing side of things. It's also, if you look at this slide, and if we went to the right-hand end first around the data technology and strategic enablers, that's really the stuff that is under the covers, the workings of the system, if you like. When you look at things like cybersecurity and platform integrations, that's not the sort of stuff that you will see. But if we go back to the end that is more customer facing, and then you will see is this unified and personalised digital experience. So there's four main elements there. Tennis identity is really about making sure that each individual in tennis has one identity and one identity only. So whether you are logging into Tournament Planner or the website or Club Spark or whatever it might be, you log in only once with one profile, and that will be known everywhere. People might be sort of rolling their eyes a little bit and saying we've heard some of this sort of stuff before, but this is, I think this has been undertaken the right way. There's a new technology available they're using from a provider called Okta, which basically has the ability to sit over the top of many other systems and have that one identity then feed the other systems so that you don't have to log in with different logins to all of the systems. Probably the best way that I can explain it anyway. The unified digital experience is all about making our online world a little bit easier to navigate. That means that we have, there'll be a new tennis.com.au website that will cascade down to new Tennis New South Wales website, which are much more integrated and work better together. The personalised self-service experience means that when you log in, it will know who you are and a little bit about your history. And by that I mean, if you are a coach, what you will be served up as a default will be very different to if you are just someone who is a customer who buys a ticket to the AO once a year and that's your only experience with tennis. So once you're in the logged in state, your personal experience will be much more suited to you and to the sort of things that you do in tennis, as opposed to someone who has a completely different interaction with tennis. And the connected mobile app experience is exactly what it says. It's just making the mobile experience much better than what it is at the moment. So it's one of those, I suppose you could call one of those big, hairy, audacious goals, which has been around for quite some time to get it to a better state with regard to the IT and the digital side of things. But it is something that is well underway at TA at the moment, and you'll start to see that rolling out in the not too distant future. Those other areas that are on that slide really are about, just other parts of our business. When we put on an event, and it would be at the United Cup, the AO, we want great opportunity, we want great player experiences, we want great event management. You've already may have noticed in the last little while that the look and feel of our communications, being our Clubhouse News or our Blue Wall Bulletin, have changed somewhat. They're coming out of a new system, which makes it so much easier for us to track. So that's where you see that marketing and comms automation and the customer relationship management. So these are all the different elements of the digital transformation, a lot of it underway at present, and we just really wanted to bring you up to speed with what is happening behind the scenes. Next one, we wanted to bring you up to date with our strategic plan. Our current strategic plan, Vision 2025, runs until the end of this current financial year, so we've just entered the last year of that. Our board assesses progress against Vision 2025 regularly, at least twice a year, from a formal sense. And so we are now starting to look at what it looks like for the build of our next strategic plan. Really pleased with the results that we are achieving against the current plan, but we want to, we really want to consult with the tennis community around what sort of things should be in the next plan, and that will come to you late in 2024, probably a couple of month period there. But I'm envisaging around the sort of October, November period for that sort of thing to start coming out and being live. And that may involve surveys, it may involve another webinar, it may involve lots of different things, but that's all being planned at the moment. But there will be an opportunity for members to give us some feedback around our strategic direction. No.
Yep, so just a quick update on the board elections, which will occur at the back end of this year. So there will be 3 positions up for election, with one position having to be someone who resides in metropolitan Sydney, and the other 2 can be based anywhere within New South Wales, because we do have the quota within our constitution of having to have 4 directors reside in regional New South Wales, having to have 4 directors who reside in metropolitan New South Wales, and then the other 2 positions are left that can reside anywhere. We do also have the aspiration, though, towards a greater gender balance on the board. So it's not constitutionally required that we have 40% female, 40% male minimum, but we are aiming to get there. So really just information on what is coming. Now, the key dates are on the 2nd of September, there will be the call for nominations, and then they close on the 22nd of September. And this allows a full process to be undertaken before the notice of AGM goes out on the 29th of October, which goes out to all the members. And then the online voting platform will open on the 1st of November and close on the 18th of November, before the Tennis New South Wales AGM on the 20th of November, when all the results are announced. So it's really just a reminder that all voting for board positions is in that online platform. So you do have to vote before the actual AGM. That was just a quick update on that process. So that is actually the end of our formal presentation, because as advised, the plan was to speak for about 30 minutes. We're exactly at 6:30, so we've done well. But we are happy to answer any questions you have. So as we've been saying, if we can put those in the chat box. We do have one there. Does any money from club affiliation go into Tennis New South Wales tournaments, or is it all signed to club insurance? The answer is it's not all signed club insurance. Where it actually goes, though, I might pass to Darren. It's just it funds all the services that does get sent out to our members.
That's right. We run a global budget. It's part of the revenue of Tennis New South Wales. The large part of our revenue comes from Tennis Australia, and that goes into funding, everything that we do in regards to stuff that and that goes towards all of the staff that are coming out to visit, and the services that we provide for members. Stu Woodward has just said it would be good if we had our camera on. My understanding is it is on.
It's on, so we thought it was on.
Yeah, apologies if that's not the case. But hopefully the slides are the most important thing that you're saying.
Peter's saying he can see. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, so it's not Darren's camera, it is the boardroom camera. So. Are there any other questions, and even anything on topics we haven't covered today?
While we're waiting for those to come through, if they are going to come through, just a reminder, tomorrow we will send out slides that we have just presented. That will come to all of the participants that registered. We'll have the video up online. If that's not tomorrow, it'll be very soon after. We will also have there's also the information there on the Facilities Enhancement Fund. There's links in the slide, so you'll have that. And last of all, the information on the not-for-profit lodgement requirements will also come out in a separate EDM tomorrow. Just getting some feedback there with some thank yous for the updates. Thanks very much for that feedback. As Melissa said at the very beginning, it's really important that we feel that people are as informed as possible. I would like to think that we're not hard to find with regards to particularly your local tennis development officer. If there's ever any questions, we just absolutely welcome people to make contact and seek further information from us.
So I might take a question offline. Happy to reach out to you in the next day or so, just to get a full understanding. But we try and be as transparent as possible with our investment strategy for the grassroots, but to make sure I answer it correctly. And I will just reiterate, with that fund, the whole purpose of the grassroots fund is to be able to support the members. It's not meant to just sit there for the next 50 years and keep growing. So the idea is that we get it to a level where the return on investment can be invested back into the sport. And
on an absolutely regular basis.
Yeah. But yeah, happy to talk through that. So we're not seeing anything else coming through, but yeah, as Darren's on, what grants are available for local club coaching? I will have to pass this on to Darren.
Yeah, with regards to local club coaching, the Facilities Enhancement Fund is obviously not one for coaching. In regards to local club coaching and grants, that would probably be highly specific to specific councils or regions. We don't have anything in particular for local club coaching, but look, it's actually an interesting suggestion. Even if we took it as to what we could potentially do for local club coaching. I'm very aware that in regional areas and getting coaching, it's a challenge. So we might have to take that as a to-do from this rather than give you because whatever local area it was, John would, the legacy fund. Yeah, fair point. The legacy fund, when it was around, had different
Streams.
what I'm looking for, streams.
Yeah.
There were different streams, and one of the streams was programming,
Yeah.
and so and participation initiatives. So yeah, leave it with us, John. I think it's a really good call out, and we will and maybe that's something we need to look towards in the future.
All good. Well, as I said, if there's no further questions, I'm going to give you back some of your time for this evening. But again, it's a big thank you from us. We really appreciate you jumping on. And as I said, it's great to get any feedback throughout afterwards. And yeah, reach out with any questions. I'm sure you know how to find Darren, but I'm also available. If you can't find my email, I'll just send it to Darren. It will get to me fairly quickly.
And the last thing we will say is that this Tennis Connect series will now be an ongoing series. So we wanted to start this one with a general update. We're hoping for this to become a bi-monthly event. So we will have various topics. We'll advertise them well in advance, and we'll have specific topics which we'll cover as we sort of move through. Some of them will be quite topical to the time, whether we, launching the new competitive play calendar, for example, or we're getting closer to the United Cup. But the absolute plan is for us to have some of our specialists from our organisation coming on a regular basis. All of them will be recorded. All of them will be available on the website, just so we can have some deeper engagement. So you can look forward to seeing those coming up shortly. But for now, thanks everybody for your time. Thanks for joining, and we'll catch you next time.